All right. All right. Hello, everybody. Okay, so I have a song for you today that I've found in the archives, dug way down deep in the archives. Now, there's a reason why I probably didn't find this one, and it was because the working title was it's called Drum Intro Rock 1. So it's no wonder why I sort of didn't manage to find this track. But the song itself is off of our Devils on the Run record with New Device, and it's called Revolution. And I'm going to go through it with you. I've not actually really listened to it. I checked out some of the vocals, and everything sort of seems to be there. And I'm interested in how I actually did it, because I think I did it in a different way to how I usually record now. So we'll just go through it. We'll do a bit of an analysis. I can see there's a hell of a lot of vocals because there's some gang chants in there, and because of the gang chants, what I did was I just layered up my voice. How many times is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What's that? Oh, 11. 11 me's going, oh yeah! That's a lot of dans. Far too many dans for one world, many people might say. Should we have a listen to it? So I'm just gonna, I don't know what the mix is like. We'll have a quick listen, see how bad it is. Right. Well, I mean, it's kind of all there, really. I'm really digging the guitar sound on this. How did I do that? What is the guitar? What is that? What did you do there, Dan? Oh no, this is where I started bringing in the some of this software that Phil gave me a long time ago. It's very cool. I'm not sure how I did the vocals though. I'm just gonna go into the vocals and have a listen to, because these guitars are sounding pretty cool. Let's solo some of these, some of these guitars, and just see how I did it. So I did this. There's just one single guitar here. I love that. Like, there's that boom, boom, like just a bit of a string pull there. There's a harmony going on there as well. Let's just have a listen to those. I like it. Sounding good. Right, let's just have a listen. I'm just going to play some of these vocals, because I'm not sure how I did them because I think they sound pretty cool, but I don't know how I did this. I'll know if I have my suspicions, and if I'm correct. Oh no way, nah. I have my suspicions, but if I'm correct, then I'll know exactly what I did.
Oh, do you wanna hit the city tonight? Are you gonna tell me who to be?
No way.
Keep it up till we're feeling right. Are you gonna be ready? Headlong on through the night. Are we gonna turn around? Up, left, and to the right. 6 feet and down. Count me out in 5, 4, 3, 2.
So what I did was there's a piece of gear over here. You can't see it. It's an old Roland 8-track, and a lot of people, they say to me, Dan, well, a lot of producers I work with, they say, Dan, you're really good at just getting things down very, very quickly, and you're always sort of quite on the ball with everything. And one of the main reasons for that isn't because I'm like some amazing singer who just has this natural ability. And I wish that was the case. It's not. But what it is because how I've managed to do it is I worked a lot with a lot of analog stuff. So when we say analog, working on computers and stuff, it's very digital. But I worked recording on tape when we were very young, recording. And when I first started, my first track that I recorded on was on an 8-track tape machine. This, although it's on a zip disk machine, it really was like there wasn't really much in the way of editing that you could do, and I certainly had no patience to edit on it. So you just kind of had to get it right, and that's kind of how I've really sort of cut my teeth when I've when it's come to recording vocals, especially. Maybe a little bit less with guitars, but definitely with vocals, because you sort of, you know, there's not a lot of vocals are very different to the guitars, because I always say this to guitarists. I'm like, listen, if my voice goes, we're going home. You can't replace a set of vocal cords like you can a set of guitar strings. So being sort of on it and focused throughout vocal takes is something which I've done for many, many years now. But I know exactly what I've done here. So there's an effect on this machine that I absolutely love. It's just called ambient vocal. Ambient, I think it's just ambient vocal, not even ambient male vocal. Just ambient vocal. And every time I've used it on records, everyone's kind of gone, good vocal sound, man. Good vocal sound. And I've not had to do too much to it. I can see there's a little bit of EQ messing around here, but apart from that, really, it's all just kind of there. I've just run it through that, and that's been it, really. So it's just got this kind of like cool compression, this bit of sheen on it.
Oh, do you wanna hit the city tonight? Are you gonna tell me who to be? Keep it up till I'm feeling right. Are you gonna be ready?
It's just a cool sound. Like I've never really been able to replicate it with. I mean, I'm not a very good sound engineer, but I've never been able to sort of replicate that sort of sound in my work. So yeah, I've always kind of gone back to this machine. This machine really has been very useful to me from just like ages now. Like I remember buying it off my friend's dad, who was in the suite, and he used to record ideas down on it. I've got a load of zip disks somewhere with loads of old material on it. It's just really, really handy. Don't really use it anymore. I probably should just like mothball it and put it away somewhere until it's required again to, you know, to come and serve its master. Let's have a listen to a bit more of these vocals here. because it just seems like check out the vocals. Let's just check out the backing vocals here.
So you wanna hit the city? Oh, yeah! You're gonna tell me how to be. Keep it up till I feel.
Now on here, I must have put on some crazy reverb, and again, I've used that machine because there's no way, absolutely no way. How have I done this? Let's have a listen to one. Wow, it's just a huge reverb. No way! Oh yeah! Ha. Oh yeah! So funny. No way! Oh yeah! So funny. You can hear like loads of weird background noise in those as well. Oh yeah! No way! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Hey, hey! And it's all sort of distorted as well, but like in the mix, I know exactly what I was going for. It's enough to give the guys like a bit of an understanding about what I was going for. It's not too crazy, but it does sort of right. This is gonna be some big chants going on here. Let's have a listen to the chorus. One thing I find interesting about this song, because we never really played this song live. It was, well, no, we did. I think maybe we did play it a few times. It was maybe a bit more difficult because we didn't have the second guitar playing, so it was a little bit thinner than it needed to be maybe. But I just remember like writing the lyrics to this. The lyrics, really, the song is kind of, it's an anti-revolution song. In the sense that, yeah, because I think did we write down, is it revolution question mark on it? I hope so, because that's what it should have been. But like revolution, it was like revolution, like got no time for a revolution. Wrap myself in your confusion, got no time for a revolution. I lose myself in disillusion, and it was just about the disillusionment of, I think, of society being. Just kind of losing yourself in more sort of hedonism, and not actually stepping up and going for a revolution. Just being like, I've got no time for that. Got no time for that. Got bills to pay. There's fun to be had. And yeah, this is a very cynical. It's a very cynical song actually. I think probably from a very cynical time in my life, where I was really questioning sort of politics. So this is post Here We Stand, so where I was very, very like angry with like Wall Street, and so it was post like the Wall Street like March on Wall Street stuff, which, you know, it's neither that sort of political sort of vibe is neither here nor there really, and I certainly don't know enough about it. I know when I've been lied to, but I certainly don't know enough about it to sort of say who's right and who's wrong. But with all of this, like revolution and what on earth is a revolution? I think really this song is about. It's not even necessarily on a big scale. it's almost like on a personal scale where you sort of think, I'm not even gonna. I'm just gonna do what kind of feels good to me, and not rise up against like the bad things or the things that need to be dealt with in oneself. It's like I've got no time for it, and I feel that that's kind of what happens a lot in society. That there isn't a great deal of just apathy, whether it's that we've had too much high fructose corn syrup, whether it's we've watched too much Netflix, and we've just been dumbed down to the point where we just cannot be bothered to do anything. I think that was probably part of the, what I had sort of been seeing. I was working very, very hard on this record, and the harder I worked, and then sort of saw just a great deal of maybe laziness, I don't know, or lack of willingness maybe for people to maybe sort of rise up in themselves and get stuff done. Maybe there was like a great deal of disillusionment there. Poor young me to sort of be that sort of cynical about life. But it's just a stage. It's a stage that we maybe, does everyone go through it? I don't know. I certainly go through stages, especially like looking at things politically. Let's have a listen to the second verse. You see, I find this really interesting because the whole thing is like, do you want to burn it down tonight? Oh yeah. Have you got a better place to be? No way. Keep it up. No, heading on at the speed of light. Like, it's like a real get up and go song. And then suddenly it goes, do you want another taste of pain? Oh yeah. And it's like having that taste of pain, that we've got into a state where, and this is long before I think even Black Mirror came out. But you remember, I don't know if any of you have seen Black Mirror, and that guy is just trying to feel alive by feeling pain. And I'm like, oh, this is not cool. And I think there's a lot of that in society where we just kind of, it's just anything to feel alive, for just what seems like a cynical kind of crash bang wallop sort of rock song. I do think that there's actually I was really sort of poking at some real deep ideas in this one, and it's an interesting one because it was always had this juxtaposition of, yeah, revolution, but I got no time for it. And it's, in the 6 feet and down bit, check this out. This is pretty cool. One more time. It's like getting on at the speed of light. So you're going really, really fast, going, yeah, but you're dead. 6 feet and down. It's like you're almost like a mindless, chaotic zombie at that point. Do you want to burn it down tonight? I think that's, I don't want to say that's like a prophecy, but we saw like the riots and things like that, like over time, not necessarily just the ones in the US, but definitely in the UK. Do you want to burn it down tonight? Moving on at the speed of light, 6 feet down, just like these mindless zombie people. Like, why are you rioting? So for the sake of rioting. And yeah, but the revolution, like, is there any real? Is there any, even when you look at, like, I think figures like Che Guevara and stuff like that are they're abhorrent. Like, I think they're terrible people, for the people that, that they tortured, they killed, and the prejudices that they had and everything. And I think there's a lot of, even in the higher levels, you get a lot of these people who will gladly just shake things up, but to actually kind of make a real revolution, to to settle in real change, these aren't the guys that are going to do it. They're just kind of figureheads of violence, really, and I'm not for that at all. So let's just have a listen to the chorus. And this is a bit of a deep dive in some of my lyrics. I'm getting a little bit philosophical. Maybe it's the mood I'm in today, or maybe it's just sort of finding some of this stuff, because I think that I'm taking a walk down memory lane. I've got to almost honor where I was at with my lyric writing, because I was clearly annoyed about something. Yeah, count me out in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's insane. Like, and people just like, if you didn't know what was going on about, you would probably just write that off, and I don't blame you. Count me out in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All this talk of revolution, and then suddenly it's like, count me out in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm the 5, 4, 3, 2, not even bothering with the 1. I'm just out. And I just think that's so, it's so like what people are like. They talk about revolution. They talk about all this stuff about rising up and, you know, the establishment and all this kind of stuff. Maybe I'm talking about myself. I don't know. Maybe I felt like a bit of a hypocrite. I can't remember. I think I was just very angry. Like, maybe I was like looking for a political purpose. I mean, I've been disillusioned with the state of the political landscape since day one, really. And I think politicians are crooks. I don't trust them at all. So anyone who's kind of really into career politicians, I just think, I mean, it's up to you, but I think personally you're foolish. And a lot of people say that I'm foolish because of my stance on politics, because, you know, what is it? Politics is downstream of culture. I don't know. And if you don't play the political game, politics play you. I get it, but at the same time, I just think that the system, I think the system is fundamentally totally corrupt. So even when people do have these big revolutions, I still think that the more things change, the more they really do stay the same. Like with the, so you take the stock market, yeah. If you sort of say, oh, is that George Bush, he was the reason that things did so badly in the thing, and Obama, he was the reason things did so good in the thing, and Trump, he was the reason things did so good or bad in the thing, and Biden, he's the thing. If you took a graph of the stock market, how strong the dollar was, all this kind of stuff, you could not tell if it was a Democrat or Republican in charge of the monetary system or of the system in the States. You just couldn't tell. Which is why I just think the whole thing's just a ridiculous puppet show. It's just 4 years to make any real change. Mostly they just spend 4 years trying to undo what the last party did anyway. So am I being a bit intense today? I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. This is just part of it. This is just part of it, and it's part of the music. So this isn't just a bubblegum song. New Device has never really been a bubblegum band, so there's some serious sort of meaning behind a lot of this stuff. So I'm gonna pay you guys the due diligence and the respect of talking about my music very seriously. So I'm not apologizing because I respect you all. That's why. All right, let's have a listen. What's up next? I don't know if this next bit stayed in the record. I can't remember this bit. Seems like I stuck in the middle eight or something. Do you know what? I've just had a flashback. I remember what kind of helped me write this was I remember seeing this whole thing about Vladimir Putin and how he would fund opposing parties. So he would fund his own rivalry. Like, so mental. And I'm like, that is another level of political control, where you have controlled opposition. I was like, what chance do we have when they're playing this like 12D chess, and we're just thinking, well, we just want our lives to be a bit better, maybe a bit fairer, and we've got these political parties that have got so much power and influence and money that they're able to fund their own bad guys. I was like, whoa, how can you have a revolution when there's that sort of vibe up against, when you're up against that sort of intense just control. Let's talk about the music a bit more. Nice breakdown. Yeah. I think it's all like a solo section. And then final chorus and out. I mean, for what it really kind of is, it's quite a simple song, but at the same time, I just think it's steeped in like this like real kind of angst. Got no time for a revolution. And I think I really do think it's because there's that sort of sense of being sort of a bit maybe disenfranchised, but at the same time wanting to fight something, but at the same time being angry, and then just going along with people because you're angry, and then when nothing seems to get done, you just check out of the revolution, which revolutions are difficult things to get done, especially if you're up against an establishment. And this isn't just about politics. This is about the revolution which is in ourselves, whether you feel sort of out of shape. I mean, I know, from personal experience, if I haven't been exercising for a while, the revolution of health, fitness, and well-being can literally be, it's not a skirmish. It's a consistent campaign. It's an onslaught of like, I'm going to eat well. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to recover. I'm going to eat well. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to recover. It's not, I'm going to go to the gym one time and expect to be completely healthy. The revolution, it's a fractal thing. Like, it just goes through so many things in nature and understanding. And I think this is just one of those things where, you can push it into politics. You could push it into things like health. Like, got no time for a revolution. Count me out in 5, 4, 3. I've seen people count themselves out in 5, 4, 3, 2, and they're off. When it comes to fitness and health, it's certainly more than I've seen people go, yeah, I'm in this for the long haul, and it's gonna hurt, and it's gonna be unpleasant at times, but I'm sticking with it. And which is why I guess I've had so many gym buddies, gym partners. I'm gonna call it a day there, guys. I'm sorry if I've been a bit intense today, but I'm not sorry at the same time. I feel that you all deserve the truth about what I feel about my music and where I feel that it came from, because it is important to me. Lyric writing is very, very important to me. I don't really want to write things which are, and I really loathe writing things which I don't think have anything behind it, because I'll get sick of singing it. And this has really been a song which is I don't know. I was clearly very, very irritated about a number of things, and I'm going to take that seriously. I'm going to show myself some respect, and I'm going to show you guys some respect by telling you guys the truth. So thanks very much for being here today, and I look forward to doing another one of these with you guys. So yeah, thanks very much. Stay frosty, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Take care. Bye bye.